I lost my father in 2014 to kidney failure. In 2015, I lost my paternal grandfather to cancer. In 2016, I lost my maternal grandfather to numerous heart attacks. In 2018, I lost my maternal grandmother to a cardiac arrest. The past 6 years have been nothing less of a roller coaster for me. The only difference? I wish I was too short to ride this one. Good morning. I am Nitya Krishen and I am not quite ready to move on. People have told me so often, move on, the past is in the past, and my personal favorite, forget it. But how was I supposed to if I was losing a part of myself with all this unmeasurable emotional pain? As if being a preteen with confidence issues wasn't enough, my abandonment issues, trust issues, and anxiety were getting worse. I wouldn't trust anyone. I wouldn't get close to anyone. And that started to hurt my mental health in massive ways. I started showing signs of depression in children. Today, the point of my talk is not to gain sympathy, but to let everyone out there know that I am not moving on because loss does not have to be the end of the world, but it also does not have to be a fresh start. Usually, when I sit down and talk about this time in my life, people say, "How are you okay?" Personally, I can't even imagine that much pain. But as much as I hate to say it, you will. One day, you will lose someone you love. And that day, you will change. You will adapt. And I know this because I have adapted and I have had to change. Either way, life for me is really good. Other than the rest of the ups and downs all of us sitting here today face, my life is great. But don't get me wrong, I still haven't moved on, and I hope I never will. Because if I do, I have to let go of my past, which is a huge part of me. I remember the day after my 12th birthday. I cried for hours because I thought I was special. All bad things happened to me. But my mother sat me down and said, "You're not special. All over the world, terrible things happen every day. And you, my love, aren't special. The past 3 years have only made you stronger. Trust me, you will realize it sooner or later." That day was when I truly realized, yes, it was the past. But no, my future and my past aren't opposing powers, but rather they work together in perfect harmony to make my present better. That is when I understood the reason I am confident enough to say what I feel or dance like no one's watching. Somewhere deep down, that loss has stayed with me and is constantly whispering to me, "Live your life now. You have nothing to lose. Life is unpredictable. Every turn has a different surprise waiting for you. And who would understand this better than me? I am who I am today because of the permanence of loss." We need to always remember that loss moves ahead with us, but that doesn't mean we have moved on from it or that we should move on from it. To everyone who told me to move on and not let my life revolve around this loss, my response to you is, would you tell someone to move on from the birth of their child? Would you tell someone, "Okay, we get it, you had a child, for goodness sake, move on"? The answer is no, you wouldn't. So the next time you want to tell someone to move on from death, remember one thing. When they want to, they will move on. And the sad moments in one's life are just as important as the happy ones. In fact, they make you stronger and they help you grow. As for me, yes, I do wish I had my father here to clap at all of my achievements and say he is proud of me. Yes, I do wish I had a grandfather who would buy me all the candy in the world. But the permanence of loss reminds me that blood still runs within my veins. It reminds me that I'm living. It reminds me of who I am and where I came from. And it reminds me that I am feeling things and I am allowed to feel these things. Loss, it helps me be myself.